or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation. Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? It's Friday. Jay Foreman, DP. Austin is back in effect. The crew is back in effect. We are live at 1040 O Street. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. And then if you're up there in the 168th and Maple.
Did they give you a special today? Did they do something?
Not today.
Okay, we're going to have to keep checking on them, you know.
Yeah, they took today off. But the food is always popping. It's grilling weather this weekend. So I'm going to stop by there tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Apparently, I am going to be at the Complex tomorrow. Complex, boxing card, fight card.
Oh, yeah, who's fighting?
This was the thing that I was trying to figure out from promotions, whether this was the Violence Fight League. And so I think the big one is Donnie Bush versus Michael Washington. Micah's a local.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what he's doing there. Doors open. Oh, this is a little different. Okay. Doors open at 6:00. The fights start at 7. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights. 8 bouts.
Late night.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right, DP. Get it together. I'm gonna have to lemon and tee it up tonight. To be in shouting form. 8 fights is and it's pretty good. So if you need tickets, you can get them at the door, but you can also go to the website, which is thecomplexlincoln.com.
Yeah, it's a nice facility out there. They do a good job. Obviously, we went out there, spoke to them, and they do a really good job of giving kids throughout Lincoln an outlet, and then obviously the professionals are going to do what the professionals do. It'll be a good fight. Last one that you did was a good turnout. So
this is an all-pro card.
Oh,
so yeah,
it'll be good. You see some action.
Yeah.
We got action.
These are grown folks throwing hands. So.
Yeah, well, sometimes the amateurs are better though because the grown folks they don't know what they're doing.
Man.
Are you going to show me your interview with Dr. Finn from yesterday about how to avoid the lights turning off?
Yeah, he had the technical terms when you knock somebody out quick yesterday. It was kind of funny. I think if you ever want to diffuse somebody, said don't make me knock off your centrifugal force or whatever it is, and that'll let you know that you're there for business. So.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be. I know Bach picked up some tickets. Nick picked up some tickets. I think at our table. If you want to come out and hang out with Bach, pat him on the shoulder. Nick will probably be there too. So just stop by. Don't 8 fights.
They'll go by quick. I mean, they're probably not as many rounds as
three
rounds. Yeah, there's a lot of action. So if you get in there, if you're a fighter, you can't be sitting around there, tiddlywinks with the little jab. You got to come in and we're throwing haymakers right off the rip.
It is your resume. It's your resume.
That's how you get your name on there, man. It's like how Butterbean got out there. Look, you got to be the king of the 3-round fights.
What's up with Kimbo Slice?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's
who was the other one? There was another. So Butterbean Kimbo. There was another one that was a little kind of a street brawler that found his way. But yeah, local fighting. It used to be the real mechanism to move up.
Yeah.
In MMA, it really is because dojos pop up and folks get in. But you're right. For Tony Astargo, for him to have built a place that people can go and work out, can train, get off the streets, gives them discipline.
Yeah.
It's pretty spectacular.
You can get community hours in there, he said, and stuff like that. And so it's nothing but positive things out there. And obviously tomorrow night the fights are going to be action packed, and it was jam packed last time, so it's going to be a good turnout. And Eric from the text line said Max Holloway came up under Kimbo Slice, and so.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Daryl Porter, and his son Daryl Porter Jr. is starting corner at the University of Miami. He had told me about Kimbo Slice like long before he got on like the internet. And
remember the old mixtapes, the old knockout mixtapes, and that's how people.
It was a real thing. Kimbo Slice, that was his like main means of income. Then he'd bounce a little bit, and he was definitely in the backyards, people make them the little bootleg rings, and people would be betting on it. And he was heavy-handed, knew what he was doing. Then he got his big break, and then unfortunately he just passed away like a heart attack or something like that. Not recently, but right after he made his boxing debut. But you just never know.
It is the old-fashioned way. That's how they found. I mean, of course, the whole Chuck Wepner, Rocky story. This was fine. Local fighters who get their opportunity, and whether they can make it happen or not. Or you go to towns like Dayton, Ohio, and you find Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
You never know,
right? You go to these little towns, man, and you never quite know what you're getting.
Yeah.
That's how stars are made.
Yeah, I remember when they had a UFC event at Pinnacle Bank, and I was there with Steve Warren, and I'll never forget this, man. So we were there. We just got together. I wasn't big into it. It's local guys. And this brother came out, and it was cool. They had an entrance and stuff. He had the music. He had a mask on, and some sort of get up. The dude he was fighting, and this is no offense against Bach, he looked like Bach. Dude came out there, walked straight out there, no ring, no trainer or nothing. He walked right, like he just got off work and I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to rush down from Omaha. I got to make sure I get there. He just, had some and one shorts on, like some regular like hooping shorts.
Champion shorts.
Yeah, champion shorts. He was hooping, got in there, just sitting there chilling. The dude came in, took 5 minutes to get to the ring, came in, tried to intimidate him. Next thing you know, we were kind of like selling up, getting some drinks, turn around, the one guy that had the long entrance was knocked smooth out. One hitter quitter.
They just announced him as Steve.
Yeah. He's like, this is Greg. This is Greg from the library. This dude came in and had the whole entrance and got put to sleep.
I know you've seen those kids that have all the armbands and the tights and the elbow guards and the headbands and the glasses and the 6 shoes. Can't play a lick.
Can't play a lick. Yeah.
In this quarter, Steve.
Yeah. He didn't even raise his hands. All he did was this: hit his hands together. Dude came out, thought he was going to intimidate him, threw one punch, counter punch, sleep. Out. I mean, when he hit him, out.
There's nothing. I send Jay more knockouts, like different fights.
After talking to Dr. Finn yesterday, there's obviously an art to doing it. But here's the one thing that UFC has done in mixed martial arts or whatever you call it. You can't go in, you just don't know. Because UFC is loud guys that normally can't fight. They could put you in a super, double snake hold, and he be, 150 pounds, and he could just put a guy that's 250 pounds to sleep. You just can't try people anymore, man.
Yeah. Well, you check for cauliflower ears. You check for there's a look, there's a vapidness behind the eyes. There's an emptiness where that dude is going through something.
Yeah.
Like he's
well,
like
anybody that's outmatched like physically and is excited to fight, that means he's excited to try something that he learned at whatever gym he goes to. Along with, he's injecting himself with steroids and HGH, so he's all hopped up ready to do something because he can take about 20 punches. As long as he get one on you, it's all good.
If he's breathing hard, just staring at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His light switch is always on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Richard Pryor joke. He goes, Coach, that dude over there beating himself up.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Marvin Hagler. When he'd fight people, he'd punching himself and ready to go. Yeah.
He kicking his own butt. What you want me to do with?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want none of that, man. But nevertheless, it's going to be a good card this weekend, good Saturday. And we're up against the clock. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We'll talk a little college football, Husker football, and then jump into the NFL. My man Jerry Jones I think Jerry Jones is like, you know what? I'm not going to win a championship, so I'm going to burn this bad boy down. He says, Stephen Jones, I'm tired of you spending all my money. Right?
Not giving you no more your allowance.
He's like, I'm not going to let you be a better owner than I am. I won 3 Super Bowls. I'm going to make sure you win nothing. Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through August 13th is buy 2 6-ounce sirloins, get 2 free. Limit of 4. Also, $1 off on salsas. Location at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies throughout the day and an afternoon high around 74. Tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies with a low around 55. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return again, an afternoon high around 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA on Saturday, August 10th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 9 fights are scheduled for the night, including professional lightweight and welterweight bouts, and the main event of Donnie Bush versus Micah Washington in the professional welterweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the MMA fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Right, Matt Rule wants to be there. He wants to develop them. He wants to have coaches that have their hands on, are molding them and shaping them, and to your point, giving them the drills, giving them the tools to succeed. But I think Matt Rule is saying at the end of the day, the coaches can't want it more than the players.
Yeah.
The coaches
They
can't hold
get out
their
there and
hand
do
on the
nothing.
field.
Yeah, they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Old school. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We have a correction from Eric. Jorge Masvidal came up under Kimbo Slice because you remember he fought one of the Diaz brothers for the BMF title, and you could throw the Diaz brothers in there too because those dudes are they down for the cause at any point in time. Yeah. But hey, look, man. I mean, the fight game makes. I mean, even Conor McGregor, you got to think that his rise to stardom was not like out of the the easy book to becoming a multi-millionaire, and so generally out of it, that's where you come from.
Yeah, it was the poor man's business.
Oh yeah.
It was poor man's business.
Oh man, it's late night, back of the bars. You're essentially betting on yourself, and guys are betting, and it's not made for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart.
Well, I mean, Gladiators, the King's Court, all of those things.
It still holds true,
right? I mean, like that's what it was.
Yeah, what's funny is that when essentially Michael Vick got in trouble for obviously being a part of dogfighting. I mean, that's essentially what a lot of these guys that came up on, like Kimbo Slice. That's what it was.
Yeah. Essentially,
you would find some guy from Omaha, come down at like noon, and everybody be betting on you. So it's all the same. But nevertheless, it's overtaken, in my opinion, boxing. because of the best guys fight each other. There's no ducking.
Yeah.
And so I think the business model behind it is good. But the business model that we got going on now is, especially with preseason games last night, is some football. Even though it's preseason, actually, what I think the NFL needs to do is start playing practices. Just like when I was growing up, one of my fondest memories growing up in Frederick, Maryland, was when at that time they were called the Redskins. They would always do the inter squad scrimmage against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it would be on
Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
And it would be on TV.
They would go to Carlisle, Pennsylvania,
and they would play the practices, and it was one of the best things because you would get
afternoon.
You would get a glimpse into which obviously, we grew up as Vikings and Redskins household, and obviously I grew up watching the Redskins as well. I think the NFL is going to have to start doing that because a lot of the starters don't play because you inter squad scrimmage for a week, sometimes even longer than that. So it's about 6 or 7 practices. That's where they're evaluating all these guys, and then in the games, of course, the starters aren't going to play. Now, the starters are going to play the next week, and it depends on where you're at with your team. Like the Broncos, Sean Payton said their starters are going to play anywhere from 14 to 18 plays. Some might not play at all. Rightfully so. You got guys coming off injuries and so forth and so on. But if you want to see, say like some guys next year from Nebraska get opportunities, you're going to see more. You could see more of what they are doing in the practices, and then on top of it, the games. Now, like for me, when I got a little bit longer in my career, and with this preseason schedule, I probably wouldn't have been playing that much. Which you get 3 times the work during the week. The crowd and stuff don't affect anybody. You want to just see good on good. So, the game has changed.
10,000 fans showed up in Richmond, Virginia, to watch the Commanders scrimmage. The Jets.
Oh yeah.
And
they pack it now.
Like it's a thing. And if the league was really about that work, even if it was informal, it's still the same plays, ones against ones, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
You're right. It would be a great advantage.
You got to dice it up though, because you don't want to be able to give away. Now you're getting each team's playbook. So now the NFL Network does a good job where they'll be on site and they'll be broadcasting from there. So you just would have to find a way, whether it's 1-on-1s or like 7-on-7, you'd have to be able to, you want to make sure you don't expose teams too much.
Well, you could say, hey, listen, Jets, Commanders, we're gonna show 20 plays.
Oh yeah, and they would have to be
tell us which 20.
Yeah.
It could be your first 20, second 20, last 20. Don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do. You just would have to be buttoned up.
Yeah.
Is it the playbook that's important, or is it the personnel? Like
It's
how
both.
many different plays are there? Like I feel like most teams, there are differences, but how much of it is the play itself? How much of it is the concept? How much of it is, hey, this guy runs it at 8 steps, this guy runs it at 10,
it's both.
whatever?
It's both because realistically, for people, I hate to burst anybody's bubble, and that's the way it goes. This is the way it's explained to me, and it's one of the best things that Wade Phillips, they kind of told me and how to kind of dummy it down. Most teams have anywhere from 6 to 10 run plays, but it's actually 3 or 4 concepts. Now, the really good run teams like the 49ers right now, the Bengals when they had Joe Mixon, or the ones that were they know how to dress it up really well, and they put you in a stressful situation.
Ravens with Roman,
right? And they do a really good job. And then that's how they bust you up with those. Then there's probably 10 to maybe 12, 14 pass plays. Now, obviously dressed up differently. And then there's always one new run, right? Every week you expect there's one new wrinkle run, and then 2 or 3 new wrinkles in the pass game. And then, of course, the trick plays, right? And those are all conceptual, right? You're in a take a shot zone. Now, I think the red zone, with the way the rules are, both in college and the pros, is not just the 20 in. I feel the red zone is 35 in, right? Because they're awful aggressive, right? And you saw it last year when we played Michigan. You get her that 35-yard, they're stretching the middle of the field, and they're going to try to drop that bad boy on the hash or in between the goalposts. And you better be able to, if you're a middle third runner, be able to make it, or your safeties better be able to break on the ball pretty good. So yeah, if they can, so that's where I would worry as a coordinator. Both personnel, right? Because how you could do it. If you get a chance to, if I get a chance to really study, let's say Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers and Wilson, right? Since we're talking about, the Commanders and the Jets, and how I call plays, what plays I call on what hashes and that, because that's what you do in practice. See, in practice, I want to see a certain blitz from the boundary. Then if it looks really good there, that's in my playbook when I go on Saturdays or Sundays. Not everything is ran in the middle of the field, but if I'm going to put it on TV, everything's ran in the middle of the field, because some plays are better against some defenses and personnel based on the hash, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. Heck, I tell people, I say, look, I'm a big believer in this. If you want to become explosive or dangerous on offense, you better find concepts and players how to attack the middle of the field. I'm telling you, you get too tight. I'm telling you, if you want to be explosive, get two tight ends to the boundary, right? And you got a really good tight end, and you put that middle linebacker and that safety and corner in stressful situation to the boundary. I've been there.
Hey guys, so from an unnamed former Washington Redskin player,
sure,
that one, to your point, they were concerned not from playbook but from misrepresentation of the playbook, that your core plays are what you run in these scrimmages, plays that you know how to run and that you practice the most often,
right?
Which then provides a tendency
and what you're going to go to under pressure.
Right.
Generally, like the Colts, right? When we played Peyton Manning, we knew that they were going to run their what we used to call a China route with Marvin Harrison and probably, whatever tight end they had, whether it was, Clark, Pollard, Dilger before that, whoever was over there, or they'd run it with Reggie Wayne. Now that's when they give you, that's where they're going under pressure, right? Tom Brady, when he goes under pressure, they're going to split Gronk out there. They beat the Chiefs on that after, the whole Robert Kraft thing. They said, listen, we ain't moved the ball at all. We're throwing it to Gronk. We get in the Super Bowl. We can't move the ball. What do? Go to Gronk. So that's where you'd be exposed. But I do think there's a way, since the preseason games are down to 2, and I'm telling you, pretty soon it's going to go down to 0.
Just go play.
Well, here's why. This is what people don't understand. Like when they said that when they want another regular season game, everything comes down to money. They don't care about the players. They can say it, they don't. They got a $9 billion concussion thing, and probably 10 guys that got paid. And I'm sure there's been more, but come on, let's be honest. Here's why: the owners during a preseason game don't make as much money.
And neither do their sponsors.
Well,
vendors don't.
Vendors don't. But let's also think about it. Let's think about this conceptually. The paychecks that they pay the players is probably about $1,500 a week. So even though, say, like for a preseason game, if you get 50,000 people at a preseason game, you're not even paying 10% of your regular payroll. Because you got to think okay, so Patrick Mahomes, let's say he makes $50 million. He's making $1,500. You're making money right there. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying? So even if you have a roster of 80 times, 1,500, you're making money with 50,000 people at a preseason game. They're just not making enough money. So if that's the case, then they're going to try to go to a 20-game season, right? And everything's going to be you're going to have training camp, but it's going to be, this week we're scrimmaging the Jets. This week we're scrimmaging Detroit. This week we're scrimmaging the Chiefs. And then you get that 10 days or whatever, and then you got to go out there and play.
Well, that's that, where you're gonna rest players and go through all of that sort of conversation. He also says that, so the Chiefs fans per practice are up. Raiders practices are up. Do you know who's having the toughest time with fans this training camp? The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, they're not in Dallas though. They're in California. I know Houston does their practices.
Their numbers are a third of what they normally are, even in California.
Yeah. But it's just because of the state of the Cowboys, and I think that the unknown, and the Cowboys have, I guess the star power even though they do have stars, is a little dull right now. And Kansas City Chiefs are the bell cow. But then also you got to think, like down in Houston, they do a really good job of fan engagement. So they have stands out there, and then they have a covered area for the like DP said, for the sponsors or the VIPs or the suite owners. That's and then they have players coming in there signing autographs. So it's all about what you make it. But then also with the NFL, if they find a way, now it's going to be harder to kind of extend the games now unless they get forced to do it. Now you be able
more
to
money, more players. Like more money, bigger roster.
Bigger rosters, but you're going to have to start guaranteeing some contracts, and the NFL doesn't want to do that because when they guarantee the contracts, that means you're not a movable asset. So
you broke it. You break it. You own it.
They don't want to do that. You can do it. The reason why teams are able to do that, like the guaranteed contracts in like baseball and hockey, because they're backed up by insurance companies. So they don't care. It ain't their money. So it's a little bit different. Same with basketball. It's a little bit different. So, you could say you can blame it on Brian Bosworth. That's not it.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to sign a guy to remember when Steve Hutchinson, they started doing the poison pill franchise tags and stuff like that. It's easy to do that because you ain't keeping them that long, right? And was it Nate Burleson did it and stuff like that. Then they, Seattle and Minnesota were going back and forth. You can't do that if you got to guarantee all the money.
It's a cold world. But you as we've said about college sports, you have the money. You're just not good at managing it.
The NFL is excellent at managing it. NFL is excellent at their business. There's no reason why
the NFL can't guarantee contracts. But there's a reason because they can't manage themselves.
No, so the reason why the NFL does is because you don't have actually good leadership from the highest paid players. So if you had the highest paid players and the union all work in conjunction to get it, you would get it. You want to know example? Baseball. You can say whatever you want about Tony Clark. You can talk about attendance or whatever. I can tell you, all those big name players, they will sit out if they have to, and that's how they get it.
At 50, if you're telling me that you don't have enough to guarantee contracts, but you have enough to give borderline quarterbacks $55 million, and the rest of the players on that team are okay with it, right? To say, hey, listen, you could bring in a whole practice squad, guarantee it for half of that money, and not cut into the quality of play on Sunday. You're just bad at decision making, man. It's got nothing to do with
why would you have to when you know that the players are going to play?
If you want to get it right.
They don't want to get it. Why would you? It is right. They're making money.
Well, I mean,
the NFL and Roger Goodell are doing a good job. You can't fault them for it.
Don't pimp. No, look. Pimping ain't easy. I understand. Godfather told, look, he gave you the playbook. I get it. But if you really want security in it, and it's the same conversation we had about college athletics, you can nickel and dime for as long as possible with the conception that, it's just about money. Well, if it's about money, do good money business. Like spend more money to make more money. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows. There's not a millionaire that doesn't know, you know what? I'm not going to make money sitting on nickels and dimes. That's just not how it works.
But they're not in a position they don't have to.
Well, they don't have to, but at some point it's going to bite them in the butt.
When they have to, they will.
Yeah.
And they've shown you that.
Yeah.
When they went to the highest court and they finally got the concussion thing that people have been talking about since Mike Webster.
Yep.
So Mike Webster played before my dad.
Yep.
So he had to die, and his son had to essentially spend all his dad's money to get that ruling. Then they did it. So the NFL and these guaranteed contracts I'll be 80-some years old. And then they'll try to backtrack.
It's a shocker.
And the reason why is because
don't love you.
Here's the difference between the NFL and the NCAA. The NCAA started to lose very rapidly. Then NCAA, as far as football, they're not at the top of the pecking order. There's a big gap between the NFL, NBA, baseball, NHL, college football. So until that gap lessens, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And so in the next segment, or at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about how the NBA, who's the next American superstar? Because if they don't got the next 2 or 3 American superstars, you might as well forget it. We're going to start talking about hockey. I'm telling you right now. I'm just telling you, because you can talk about Luka, you can talk about Joker. They're not going to move the needle here where the money's at. Now they will come and dominate, and then they'll be in Serbia. Then Luka will do whatever. He'll be drinking beer. And then you can talk about Shea. He'll be up there in Canada drinking Labatt Blue and all that. I'm talking about, and this is nothing, this is American players. I'm talking about guys like Kyrie, Steph, LeBron, and KD. Who's next?
You ready for this? And it's perfect for me. So if you took basketball, golf, soccer, football, hockey, basketball, baseball, the average salary per player in each sport, the average salary. Jay Foreman, where do you think football is on that list of?
Oh, it's way down just
7?
because of, I mean, it's different though. It's just, you got 81 games versus 12.
Which lets me further say there's no reason for the NFL not to get this right. That hockey spends more money per player than the NFL.
Right. But they don't have to, though. They don't need to get it right because in their mind, I'm saying this and saying this. It won't get right until the players make them get right. Here's the problem. I've said this when I was playing, and this is why they have NFL player reps, right? So you have all the high price, how like the quarterbacks go over there. Well, they have no idea what Jay Foreman is like in training camp. So they can't even think. It was like asking a billionaire to talk to middle class. They have no idea, and they don't want to have idea. So they aren't really representation of the league. You get what I'm saying? Now you need some of those guys, and then you need some guys that are fighting, tooth and nail, because that's the gap. Now I was fortunate enough to be around, the Deacon Jones, the Alan Pages, the Jim, growing up, because those are the guys that would come over the house all the time. So my idea and my reality of going to the NFL is a lot different than, say, for instance, like a Drew Brees and all this other stuff. He don't have any idea, and he don't want to have any idea, about that. Like Drew Brees, anytime, there's thing, don't ever go to the media talking about somebody else's money. So when you talk about Jimmy Graham, shouldn't try to get money as a receiver. See, that's how you lose. That's why you don't see a lot of people messing with him. Right? Because that's wrong. Nobody went and said that. Nobody went and said, "Hey, he's a system quarterback." When you're the highest, when you got paid with Sean Payton, right? Nobody said that. So let Jimmy get his money because it's very short. It's not for long. So until the players collectively, that's old, new, present, and future, get together and say, you know what? We're gonna chill to make those guys do it. You ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never gonna do it. You better get a Tony Clark in there. And that's where you're at. That sounds true.
That the average player makes under $3 million. That you have 20 players who are making 20 quarterbacks who are making above $12 million. Again, players would get it right, and that, quite frankly, the numbers are there.
The numbers are there, but the numbers are there when they're going to continue. The numbers have been there.
Yeah.
You look at Hard Knocks. You got salary cap dudes that underestimated the salary cap by $15 million. So what does that tell you?
They're bad at business.
No, it lets you know that they got more that means the NFL is grown more than what the people that are getting paid a ton of money. That means through the league, getting paid a ton of money that estimate what the salary cap is. So it lets you know the gap is so far that they don't have to come to the negotiating table. So
they're making money. I just want to take
care. Well, that's a leadership problem. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. Come back, put a bow on this first hour. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA on Saturday, August 10th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 9 fights are scheduled for the night, including professional lightweight and welterweight bouts and the main event of Donnie Bush versus Micah Washington in the professional welterweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the MMA fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com. As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Summertime is here, and so is another action-packed baseball season with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Bring your whole crew to Haymarket Park to experience the magic under the lights and the thrill of the game. Enjoy daily specials like Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, and Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts. Don't miss out on the excitement.
Strike three, you're out.
Visit saltdogs.com to see this week's promotions and secure your tickets to unleash the fun.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman, old school. Got a quick segment, then we get back on top on or back on track on the 5 o'clock hour. So, real quick, man. Carl Lewis called out the U.S. track and field. He's talked about the process, and it's been something that's obviously been on his mind because the U.S. Got disqualified, but did not look good in the 4x1 relay. But you know what's also weird is like Shakira Richardson talked about where they weren't allowed to, because they didn't stay in the village. They weren't allowed to warm up. They had to go a mile. So that's why you saw a couple people drop out of the 100. But the U.S. track and field, especially men's, that was the 4x1 and all that stuff was must-see TV. But they've been struggling. And it needs to be addressed. It's no different than men's soccer. They're going to have to step in and really address it because they have enough talent and speed not to look. They look pathetic.
Well, just don't fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still look pathetic though. They have not looked good even in the Worlds. They have not looked good.
To think from the quality of sprinter in the U.S. just in the college game.
In the high school,
right?
Yeah, high school, college,
Right.
and then a professional.
That you're producing mass in numbers, and then of course what happens is policy gets in the way,
Right.
and then all of the politics show up on the medal stand.
Yeah.
And we keep saying it, pay attention, pay attention, pay
Yeah.
attention, pay attention. They're making bad decisions. They're being selfish. They're being driven by money. When you have sponsors that will say, "Hey, listen, I need my guys. I need the Nike guys."
Yeah.
On the roster. Wait a minute. That goes against the very nature of what we're doing. And when the sponsors drive those conversations, the result is going to show.
Yeah.
It's absolutely going to show up.
Austin.
Sorry, what was that?
Well, about the 4x1, the track is. I mean, obviously they had a pathetic showing.
Yeah,
I know it's the
I don't
fumble
know.
of the baton.
I
I
mean,
think
you get Lyles winning, so it looks even worse. I think. I mean, you fumble the baton. It's going to be 28 years since they won when you get to LA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a problem when you routinely have 5 of the 10 fastest guys
generally,
in the world.
Yeah.
Just stick them on a team and run. But it kind of goes to the basketball thing, right? It's not always as simple as just put the fastest guys there.
Yeah.
Who's going to make sure it's clean?
Yeah.
Who's going to make sure that, it's team first, not just whose times are the fastest. Obviously, that's a part of it. But sometimes it's more than just talent.
Well, who wants to work out together? Who's going to lead it? Like, who's going to set the standard for how work is going to be done?
Right.
Like, to keep the boundaries in play. The women tend to do so, and there's tons of friction on the women force.
Right. But they generally get in line.
But they were like, you know what? The whole point is like there was battle. Who was going to anchor this?
Yeah.
Right. And to have that discussion. Well, they figured it out, and you make it work.
Right.
It's America. America should win all of the sprint relays. They just should. They have the volume. They have it. They're producing. They're literally helping other countries produce their 4x100 relay.
Bolt's not there. I mean, Bolt was the ultimate equalizer.
Yeah.
But he's been gone.
But that happened.
With
that happens. I just think that when you look at back in the day with Carl Lewis and those guys, they had big personalities, but they operated with class.
Which is also kind of crazy. Carl Lewis's gold medal 100 time would have finished last in this year's 100.
Yeah,
that's the evolution of the sport. It's a different game.
It's a different
worldwide.
Game. If you go back, my brother was an alternate, and I remember that if you're talking about Harvey Glant, Steve Williams, Houston McTeer, those were dudes, and they got in line and said, you know what, the whole point is not about the individual, it's about us winning as a team.
Yeah.
Like that was how good they were and why they were able to pull it off. When you start getting selfish,
it's a byproduct of America, but I think the pressure, and Carl Lewis was right, the pressure is even more because once they have the closing ceremonies, the clock is starting to tick in on LA, and the way that they've performed over the last few Olympics, like I said, I'll give you a pass because the Jamaican team with Bolt was legendary. But this performance, on top of the worlds, on top of the unique personalities, there isn't any leadership there. Like, if you don't think Carl Lewis was a diva or whatever you want to call it, is there, but the class was there. I think the social media, the individual wants, and these guys I think are so individually driven that they were like, okay, well, since I didn't win the 100, I ain't gonna do nothing in the 4x1.
It's embarrassing on the road. You'll get booed at home.
Yeah.
Well, but it's also, listen, the payoff for other countries to beat the USA is so
tenfold.
incredible.
Yeah.
That
they're legends.
Again, it's that money thing I keep talking about. Like, there's money. If you're making bad decisions about there's no reason why winning a gold medal for the USA should be at the bottom for all the countries in the world. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, the Canadian team that won the 4x1, I guarantee they're going to be going down Young Street in Toronto with the ticker tape parade. So the basketball team won't. But we're going to close this first hour at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about how badly does the U.S. Basketball Association or basketball need 2 or 3 guys to step up immediately because we see how close the world is catching up in this Olympics. And 4 years is not too long. 4 years, we probably don't have the 2 or 3 guys that have won all the games for him. So we'll take a quick break. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies throughout the day and an afternoon high around 74. Tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies with a low around 55. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return again, an afternoon high around 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker concrete, and Beatrice concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, DP, Old School, coming at you live 1040 O Street on this Friday. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. 84th and Havelock, 30th Yankee Hill, 168th up there in the O, in Maple, 168th and Maple up there in the O. We've said it before at the end of this, how much does the U.S. need a young and upcoming superstar? You're probably 0 for 2 in Zion and what's the knucklehead in Memphis? Ja Morant. Now they could come back, but you need a bona fide, clean-cut, professional, legitimate superstar to continue along this. I think as much as people want to look at KD, taking the chump route and going to Golden State and LeBron with the super team, so forth and so on, Kyrie and those guys and Steph, is that you don't appreciate how good they and how dominant they were. They like to have those 4 guys to come into the league in 4 uniquely different ways. LeBron had the pressure of the world and he's exceeded expectations. KD was kind of the unicorn, and then he went to OKC and then obviously never was able to get over the hump with that stupid roster that they had, which is crazy. Then you had Kyrie, who was kind of played like 3 games at Duke, and then next thing you know, he just had the superior skill, and then he has a different way of thinking. And then you have Steph, who changed the game because more people are walking around on the face of the earth with his size and ability, not ability, but you can learn how to shoot the 3 like him. But he was a guy that nobody believed in when he got drafted. Said he had bad ankles, defensive liability, wasn't strong enough. And now he's obviously changed.
Where are you going to play him?
Yeah, where are you going to play him? And in the first couple years, he didn't play him. It took Mark Jackson, along with Draymond and Clay, to find a way to take that roster and really focus in on their talents. That's how superstars and great players and legendary players are created. Different than when the Patriots got lucky and got Tom Brady. And was like, man, you know what? This dude actually has a mind for the game and is willing to play a role until he becomes a superstar. It's kind of like what Steph did. So USA basketball is obviously most likely going to win, hopefully, the gold, but also is put USA basketball and the upcoming players on notice immediately.
Not tomorrow. Not yesterday.
Right now. Yeah.
I think Zion would have been the one to be the face because, again, we haven't seen a guy at that size move like he has. And he had the social media pop.
Yeah.
Right? He was already a worldwide phenomenon by the time he got to the
Duke.
NBA.
Yeah.
By the time he got to Duke, he was. By the time he got to the NBA,
he was
even more.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I mean no disrespect to Ant or anyone else. I don't think the next American face of the league is in the league yet. And I'm not even going to say my boy Cooper Flag, right? He's going to be on the short list. Class of 25, AJ DeBanza.
It's going to be somebody.
He's a baller.
Yeah, I know. I've seen him. It's going to be somebody that, because the way LeBron came in, I don't think these kids are mentally strong enough to handle that type of pressure and be willing to go to a crappy franchise like Cleveland.
Or have the right circle around them.
Have the right circle around them and the mental focus. And still, LeBron's, one of the top players in the world right now, still at, 20 years in the league, right? He ain't slowing down. And I don't think the focus is there. So it's going to be somebody that's got to get in the right situation with the right organization, the right coach, and then it kind of, propels them up there. But it's got to be somebody, and it's got to be more than one. It's got to be a group of guys that actually want to, step up and take the mantle because, KD and those guys can't play forever. They just can't, and that's the way it is. And so, the young superstars now in the NBA don't reside here or weren't homegrown here. You got to think with Shea Alexander, he kind of, he's from Canada. Yeah, it's close, but he's not from U.S. You got to think with Luka and the Joker and all them, and they're not obviously from the U.S.
Well, I mean,
Giannis included.
To know that Europe attaches themselves to young talent earlier
and develops them
to do more with them for longer. That is a real thing.
Yeah.
Youth basketball, and by youth I mean anything pre-college.
Yeah.
Is about money
here
in America.
Yeah.
There are too many pirates. There are too many hustlers. There are too many people who are here to make money off of it rather than to grow it. And when you hear the traditional basketball folks have the conversations about what AAU is doing to basketball, I think they're missing the layup. Because there's a disconnect between AAU and high school basketball in that they won't work together and they won't get on the same plan for how it is. Team USA has an opportunity, but it's too late in the game at 18 and under to get America's best players playing international style basketball. It's new to them then. They're not getting it at 15, 16, 17 because those players are so good at working on individual stuff. They don't have time to work on team stuff.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, when you think of just like load management and stuff, a lot of these guys get too much run in the youth sports, and they don't. And it's a commitment level. I mean, there's a plethora of things. If you want to just look at like locally, like they, the high schools or whether it's Omaha or Lincoln, you got to be more competitive. Why? You got to be more competitive. So that means you got to hire actually real coaches. You got to do that stuff. And there should be some overlap, right? You should be, if you're, and this also is on the coaches too. You can't be a coach and say, I'm only coaching while like I'm on the, LPS calendar. You can't be just a coach because you want to just be lucky enough to get guys to come to your school and you're not invested in those guys. And then as far as like the skill development, it's also then on the parents too, where like there's too many options out there for them. So that means you don't really necessarily have to dedicate yourself to being at practice and becoming a better player because at the end of the day, you will play. Now, where they do over in Europe, they practice more than they play. So the games mean more, right? That's why you don't see guys really be upset if they lose because they know they always got another game.
And I think part of the problem sometimes too is that it's the one-on-one skill development that's replaced practice instead of augmenting it, right? I mean, everyone can go practice 5-on-5 or go with their team. But I think in some cases, that's why guys will leave their high school to go somewhere else where they get prioritized instead of growing, learning, building chemistry, building that culture, laying the foundation, all that good stuff. I'm not saying it's completely gone, but I think we've moved from a culture where, everyone went to practice 5-on-5 and then you did your skill work to my practice is my skill work.
Or I'm going to go to skill. Like I had kids and I was like, they'll miss practice where you at. He was like, I had a workout. Well, bro, like working out against cones ain't going to do no good. Like dunking against air and doing all that stuff, 5-6 dribbles and all that. You ain't going to get that off in high school. If you think, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you in Lincoln, if you think you're going to do that garbage playing against like Millard North, Bellevue West, let me tell you something. They're going to throw that stuff in the first row. Then you're going to be frustrated. Then you're going to be up there mad because the coach isn't playing. And I'm not trying to knock anybody's hustle because there's a lot of really good trainers out here. The problem is this. You're not teaching the kids when to use it. These kids aren't invested in basketball. They're invested in themselves. I got kids that showing up and they're like, like they're just trying to get theirs. Like, bro, like nobody's looking at you when you're a loser. And if you're in the losers bracket, you ain't getting looked at. Because at this point in time, the way that everybody plays, and this goes to Austin's point, and this is your point in DP, when you have everybody doing the same thing, training it, like, okay, we're going to work on your in and out dribble, one-on-one game, get in your bag and all that. So if you're a college coach or a scout going there, there's no difference between anybody else. If height is all the same, that's within reason. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a 16-year-old kid and everybody's doing and playing the same, right? Running to the 3-point line, to the corner, dribble, drive, kick out, shoot a three, or you're trying to get a run out, or you're just going to come down and shoot 45 threes, you ain't no different than the dude in Kansas. Now, the difference is if you have a kid that's like 6'6", 6'8", and he's able to do it, okay, then now you're like a Cooper Flag, and you guys are going to start getting recruited. And then you got to also deal with some of the parents and their expectations. And these people are just wild, dude.
Well, you're not spending time on character. You're not integrity. You're not academics. You're not IQ. You're not investing in those things. And again, which is my problem with the star system. Tell me where heart qualifies.
Yeah.
Character. Like, oh, how hard the person practices. What star is that?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, you're wasting time. You're wasting time. You're just casting your iron, and whatever you get, you get. The reality is you can build. We always said, if there's two players who average 15 points a game, I'm going to keep producing the kid that knows how to study, the kid that knows how to practice, the kid that knows how to be a decent human being. I'm not going to burn $250,000, and I'm not going to let a Power 5 coach come to my school or my program and pull a $250,000 bust out of my system, because that's my name and that's my reputation, and I'm not really helping them.
But that's few and far between, though. Coach, listen, back when you were coaching DP, back when I was getting coached, coaches, their badge of honor was getting a player that necessarily wasn't getting looked at, getting him a chance to go to school, getting him some money. Look, man, you got these. The funniest thing I heard, I was coaching, as a game. Heard this dude around here in Lincoln. He passed me. He's like, "Oh, that's that football guy," right? That's how dumb people are around here. Like, you think I'm going to take my time out of my time, think I don't know what I'm talking about in basketball? Is the football? Yeah, I play football, but I talked to some of these kids, and I remember watching this. Was it Bradley Van Fleet that was at Wichita State? Was at Toronto, but he just signed a big deal with Houston. And they asked him about how he was able to make it. And he said, and he essentially was telling everybody the answers to the test. Said, if you're a small guard, the first thing that you got to do is be a problem 94 feet on defense. The second thing is your turnover to assist ratio has got to be impeccable. Number 3, you got to hit open threes, and it's not coming down and jacking up threes. Now, if you tell some kids that right now, they're going to listen to you that. They're going to get in the car, and their parents are going to tell them something else. They're going to go to a trainer, and they're going to do all this stupid stuff. When you got a professional dude that's your size, there's more guys walking around and playing AAU basketball, his size, Van Fleet size, than there is Steph or LeBron and all those guys. But that's where it's all missed. Whereas like in Europe, when you read about Joker and Giannis, listen, they'll send you to that stuff, and it's like the parents aren't involved. Because then they want the finished product is what you see.
Well, the NHL has a history. Soccer has a
European soccer.
We're going to take them out of the situation that it currently exists, because ultimately we're going to be mission based. Too many high school and AAU coaches are there for their paycheck rather than anything else.
Sure.
And that's as simple as I can make it for people. I can identify a good coach. Because if you're coaching simply by doing the right thing, like that's
well, that's 80%. It's
like
80%.
how simple is that?
It's 80%. You'll win 80% of your games. Don't turn the ball over, play hard, make layups, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how? Forget about all the other stuff,
right?
Like, because you can't recruit yourself. You have to build yourself and let recruiting happen.
Yeah.
Never focus on. Listen, I don't need a victory tape of you with 32 dribbles and a pull-up jumper.
Right.
Like, no, your work is going to be when you're competing. When you're competing. And if you haven't done the work before then, I can look at your game film and tell me whether you're talented or whether you're practicing or whether you're a good teammate. The way you play shows up.
Yeah. It's always interesting to me when you hear high school coaches. Like I always look at you like sideways when you start talking about like athletic and all that stuff. You got to be athletic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what you're saying, I know you will never do right by your kids, because you up here trying to play, like I call it the DNA pool, right? So you want to athletic to play in like class? No, bro. Like that's not happening. That's like an AAU mentality, and then you trying to sit up there behind like the desk at your high school talking about it. That's the easy way to do it.
Luck.
It's luck.
That's
Because
you
you're not
relying on luck.
always going to have
Hey,
athletic team. You better start developing guys both mentally and physically on the and off the court. And you better learn how to accentuate what dudes have as a basketball player and start doing that. And then another thing, you can't, you got to start holding guys accountable. Like, you can't sit up, like, you're not doing anybody any favor. You're having a dude come down, chuck up some threes and all that other stuff. It's just, I mean, I sit there and watch it. I mean, it's like, dude, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You guys get these dudes 6 days a week, counting the games. Or you got 2 games, 4 practices. You're only off on Sunday. I get to barely get these dudes 3 hours in practice and go play 4 games.
And you got to correct all. You got to correct all.
And you can't walk and chew gum.
Listen,
you can't shoot free throws. You can't shoot a 3, and you got 3 hours a game. And these dudes. And the thing is, I always tell these kids, your parents pay all this money, right? Right. So you should be invested in here, but you invested in a dude that don't give a damn about you. I said, listen, when you get cut or something, your name ain't going to be on a piece of paper, and they ain't going to return
your. He's not showing up at the games to see that the work pays off. Look, we went through, and it didn't matter whether I was coaching at a millionaire school in the Woodlands, Texas, a 6A high academic academy in Utah, whether it was a 6A high volume, hey, I can compete with Flint Hill and DeMatha in Northern Virginia. Right. It didn't matter. I never got to choose talent. But what I always knew, I wanted to produce military academy kids. I wanted kids that could go to West Point Naval Academy Air Force. I wanted kids that could go to Ivy League, that could get into UVA, that could get into Baylor, right? And if we did those things, the other stuff always took care of itself. Yeah. I never had, I'll say it again and again, I've never had the most talented players.
Yeah, but in high school, you're never really going to have the most talented players. Right. The good, I mean, the Midland North team, when they had all those guys in Bellevue, and I mean, that's like a once in, we were blessed to see that state tournament. And let's not forget, Creighton Prep took them to the wire. East was good. I think Burke was there. I mean, so, that's a once in a, 10, 12 year period. You're never going to really.
Generational.
Right, You're never going to have that much talent on a team year in and year out. So you got to actually coach. You better get your butt out there and get to some of the youth games and start opening your mouth, start walking around with your hat down. And acting like you can't speak. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's about you, it ain't not about
Well, no, you better open up your mouth, because if you want to get guys to go to your school and start getting guys, in the, the kind of like you're always being able to, reload, you better start creating some relationships with people and getting out there and being, if you get out and being invested in the kids. Don't just stand up there and say, I'm the coach and you're going to do all that. And then you sit back and just, do what you do and just run your system. I mean, you spending a lot of time doing it. Now, I know it's not as easy as everybody thinks, but it's not as hard as everybody makes it.
It's not easy, but like you say, DP, it's simple.
Yeah.
I say this. I'm not an exceptional X and O guy. I'm not an exceptional Jimmy and Joe guy. What I'm really good at is simplifying.
Yeah.
I'm really good at whatever the sport is. And again, winning 78% of games in 3 sports in 4 states. With the same rules.
So it's portable.
Right? It doesn't matter whether I'm in an urban area, suburban area, rich area, white area, dark area. It didn't matter. You find a way for rules, because the rules of the game don't change.
No.
And if I've got 11 6-foot white kids, or if I've got 10 6'5" black kids, the basket is the same. The rules are the same. Yeah. And I better figure out how to get them to play this game, whatever, within those rules, the best way possible.
You sound like a guy that took a tape measure to the free throw line and up to the basket once or twice.
Oh, I got a little Hoosier in me. There's no, like, we like to say we're the accumulation of all the people that coached us.
Right.
I'm blessed enough that I listened to smart people. I had John Thompson, Dom Capers, Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
Like, I had some really smart coaches around me. Listen. Because I'm not smarter than any of them.
Yeah.
I just need to pay attention enough that, look, if I'm going to play in a gym where one of the greatest coaches that ever lived coached in, I need to carry some of that with me. And it's real simple that, listen, parents, be parents.
That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. I mean, look, man, you can watch, I can watch a game and not be, in particularly like happy about stuff. I ain't gonna be up there. I ain't going to no coach's office.
Right.
If a coach see me, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And it has probably had nothing to do with basketball. It's something else. But it's definitely an issue. I just wonder if you're a coach. Now, there's some schools in Lincoln that just don't have the numbers, so you're pretty much going into a fight with almost two hands behind your back, right? But I know there's coaches that got good numbers. I don't understand why you're not competitive. Because when I know you're not truly competitive, when you start talking to me I call it about the DNA gene pool. If you start talking to me, I'll just look at you just like that. All right,
yeah, we don't have those dudes.
Well, it's not even that.
We don't have that.
It's not even that. When you start talking to me about that and you're not talking to me about basketball, then that means you don't. That means you just roll the ball out and you try to get guys just to go to this place and that place. So I would ask you this. What happens if you don't have athletic guys? You're just going to just go into the athletic director and say, well, you know what? We don't have any college players, so we're going to just go 5-20 this year until we get some guys coming up. Boy. Well, then what happens if you do got guys that are coming up, and then there's other schools that got guys that are just as athletic? So now you're going to put your coaching hat on?
You went 8-17 that year instead of 5-20.
Yeah, I mean.
Dusty used to simplify. He goes, listen, baseball is a game of throwing, catching, hitting. He goes, and you notice that I can stop right there. And if I can't coach you to throw, to hit, and to catch, doesn't matter how tall, how fast. It doesn't matter. Basketball, listen, can you shoot? Can you dribble? Can you rebound and defend? We can talk about football. Can you tackle? Can you run? Can you catch football? Can you throw it?
And all the fun stuff after that comes after you do those things, and you teach those things. So
miss me with that.
It's definitely a unique experience. Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna take a quick break, talk a little Husker football, see who's the most important. I think next segment we're gonna talk about in the Big Ten, what team has the preseason hype that might the moment might be too big and they might dookie down the leg. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer. Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks, exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, old school, a little Big Ten action. As we move along in, I guess, training camp or whatever you call it. I was
summer camp.
I was on the porcelain throne, reading my book, reading my preseason stuff, and I started to think. And I talked to a scouting friend today for about 30, 40 minutes. Started to think, like, what team in the Big Ten that's getting a ton of love? Because I remember not this year, not this Big Ten, but last Big Ten. Illinois walked in as the offseason and preseason belle of the ball, and it did not work out well for them. It wasn't because of talent. I mean, you got Newton, and they got two guys drafted on the defensive line this year, or this past draft. They got 2 guys that are going to get drafted high this year. They've had talent before, with the Brown brothers and all that. They have a really good tight end that got drafted this year. Got another really good tight end. Got a good running back. They got talent. Now obviously not to Ohio State level, but enough to obviously with the whistle. So you guys, I know I texted you guys earlier. Who do you think that has preseason hype that's not going to live up? I'm going to give you mine first. When we were at the Big Ten, and sometimes you can talk yourself into believing the hype based on like a factor or two. And for me, it's Rutgers. Shiano, I've always respected him. I like him. I like his intensity. I like how he's building the program. I think they got about 4 or 5 for sure NFL players. I think the running back, the 3 defensive players are for sure, and I'm sure they got some other guys as well. But I think just the overall depth, I think that's what's kind of leading it. And plus, they were very competitive in some games. But they're picked anywhere from finishing 6th in this new Big Ten to the lowest I've seen is 10. That's a big jump for a program like Rutgers. So they're the offseason, I guess, favorites to make the huge jump. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to always be a tough out. They're going to be competitive every week. I just don't think they're going to do it.
We watched the cultures walk in the door. Like that's kind of why we go to Big Ten. Like for me, it is to walk. I need to see the culture. So it tells me the amount of work you're doing, what you're working on, what you're focused on, how much is conditioning a part of it, how much of it is presence, poise matters, right? To watch those things. And Shiano he's going to be tough. He talks tough, he walks tough, he thinks tough. But then talent comes into play. And then you have to say, okay, is your talent as tough as you are? And with Shiano, the answer was no.
They got a few guys. I just don't think they have the talent. They got toughness. I don't think they have the talent.
Do they look tough until UCLA walked in and USC walked in and Washington walked in and Oregon walked in. Like that sort of toughness national championship toughness look a whole lot different than middle of the pack Big Ten toughness.
Yeah.
Like there's a different, like those dudes who went to bowl games and had an additional 6 weeks of practice in football walk in the door different than the dudes whose season ended at the Army-Navy game.
Well, the one thing that helps Rutgers, they're an old team, right? Even the transfer, and they got Cal McManus, but they got like Aaron Lewis is a defensive end. He's a problem. 71. He's a kind of bootleg Max Crosby, but he's an NFL player. Mohamed Toure, they're kind of weak side run and hit linebacker. He's probably going to get a shot.
We'll get there.
And Tyrene Powell, who is the size of a defensive end, is right in the middle. I mean, he's a matchup problem. And then Kyle Managade, in my opinion, I think he's the best running back in the Big Ten. He's one of them. He'll get a shot. But after that, the offensive line is decent. And then I'm being nice. Cal McManus, average. Not much to threat outside. That's where I think they will run into trouble. I think they have the toughness, right? Because that's just they're Jersey tough, right? Talent will. And also last year, they didn't have a lot of injuries with the way that they played in practice. I think it might hit them this year. Injury bug.
I'm gonna say this, Austin. To me, again, watching people walk in and players of note, and again, you can have a star player, and the star player matters. And Iowa has a star player.
Mm-hmm.
They have two star players, but they don't have star players at positions that are going to dictate that they are a real problem for most elite defenders and offense.
You talking about Iowa?
Yep.
Yeah.
So in my mind, they're the team that takes, I think they'll get enough preseason hype for people to pay attention. But I think you just don't have enough dudes.
Let me ask you this. Is their preseason hype based on they got a pretty easy schedule?
Mm-hmm.
Is Iowa, I don't want to knock on wood that it doesn't come bite me, but is Iowa benefiting off of getting the benefit of the doubt based on what they've done defensively, especially for the last 4 or 5 years? Now Higgins is the star.
Mm-hmm.
Lachey is the star.
Yep.
After that, I don't believe in McNamara. I don't believe in nothing. Now the offensive line will be better. Do you think they're getting the benefit of the doubt, Austin, and the schedule?
So for as much of an Iowa hater as I am, I've kind of been one of those guys on the Iowa train this offseason just because of the schedule. Because I trust Iowa just not to screw it up. Right? Against elite, shoot, look what they did against Tennessee in the bowl game. Right?
Yeah.
Dropped a dookie down there, like multiple, right? It wasn't good. So no, I'm not sold on Iowa competing with any of these elite teams. They're seriously threatening to win a game. But yeah, I can talk myself into Iowa being in the conversation to sneak into the playoff. I will say this, as I see the Big Ten discourse such as it is, I don't think there's anyone that's been wildly overhyped. You can see the rationale for Iowa, even if you don't buy it. You can see the rationale for Rutgers, but we're talking about them 6th through 10th. If we're talking about overhyped as 6th through 10th, that tells me it's in a pretty good spot. Probably the team with the most hype is Oregon coming into the conference. The way they did swaggering in, I think Oregon's a really good team. I do. I wonder if they're going to have their 2011 Nebraska moment, right? I think Oregon's in a better spot. They have more money. I think they have more talent than Nebraska did. But I wonder if Oregon gets tripped up once or maybe twice more than we're expecting. I'm not predicting it. I don't know. But if we're talking about just pure hype and headlines,
Yeah.
Oregon's getting the most that it's making me have a couple second thoughts, but I'm not like fully second guessing them.
They are so national championship deep and good.
Yeah,
but they've never proven it.
They've never. That's the problem.
They've gotten to the game.
Yeah,
and now
but-
they have to win it.
and
to
How
prove
many,
it,
how many
but-
teams in the Big Ten can say they got there?
Well, that's the point. Like they're new
and-
Penn State. They're
and
West Coast Penn State right now.
And here's the difference.
No,
It's a big.
has Penn State gotten there? Have they gotten the
No.
championship
They're
game?
half
that's-
step better.
When?
But this is also a big jump
Oregon's
up for
half
them.
step better.
It's a different. This is a different brand of football for Oregon.
Yeah.
Coming in, I think. They got talent. They're immensely talented.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lannon has taken that Georgia type of thing and trying to build, like Cristobal did. They're trying to build up the lines. They lost a lot of talent now. I mean, let's be honest. You lost the guy that stirred the pot, Bo Nix. Lost the receiver. But they got a good tight end coming back. They got plethora of receivers. Their running back is gone, and he was a game changer. With Oregon, it's going to come down defensively. What can you do defensively week in and week out? This is a different brand of football. I think, or I do believe what you're saying. Will they? It's weird. As much as I think they might not be able to live up to hype, they got Gabriel, who is essentially like Bo Nix, just a lefty. I believe in their coaching. It's just going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a little bit of growing pains, but I think he's going to still do well.
Let me throw another one out there. I'm not buying Michigan as a college football playoff contender. They're both teams. They're
Michigan
solid.
did- yeah,
I'm not
Michigan got
buying
too much
championship DNA. They're
They
the
just got
fifth
drama.
best team in the conference.
Do we listen? There are 4 teams in the Big Ten Conference who have recently, really recently, we're not even talking about Washington yet, who have recently achieved status that none of the bottom 12 teams of the Big Ten have in 10 years. In 10 years. Wisconsin, we can go up Penn State. We can go up and down the list. Maryland, Rutgers, Illinois, Indiana. We can go Northwestern. We can go through it.
Yeah, but it's different of being hyped up this season and not living up to it. I think that's the question. I think
I understand fantasy football, but my goodness, Jay, I can't tell you what it's like to tackle an NFL.
We'll see what Washington. I mean, Washington, you got to think that you lost your head coach. Now I believe in Jed Fish, but you're starting over. Prior to this year, Washington wasn't thought to be. They were kind of out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but it was a little bit of surprise what they're doing. But you lost your foundation, you lost your head coach, and all that. So where are you at? Yes, you were there recently, but
they have fewer questions than everybody in the bottom 12 of the Big Ten Conference.
I wouldn't agree
Literally,
with that.
they have. Look,
I wouldn't agree with that.
That Oregon has fewer questions.
Oregon, not Washington.
Washington. That players for the 22 players who are returning to Washington who played in those 2 playoff games last year,
right?
Who are returning. They don't have to be stars, but they actually practiced for 6 additional weeks and then played in those 2 bowl games. That those players have fewer questions than 2/3 of the Big Ten football conference. I'm just,
not really. They lost the quarterback, receiver, their best
2 receivers,
but lost their best offensive lineman to get drafted.
A couple others.
Their second offensive lineman is down. They lost a lot of their players that you're talking about. DP, they're down in Alabama.
And the players that competed, it's like Nebraska back in the day. Every story that I was ever told about the 70s, 80s, and 90s Huskers was that those 2 deep and 3 deep rosters could have won major bowl games those years just from being in proximity and competing with the ones.
Yeah,
but is Washington that same program?
I wouldn't put Washington up there.
Okay,
I wouldn't put Washington up there.
I'm not going to shoot down dudes who've been there over people who haven't.
Yeah, but if you're not playing that, I mean, you've been there. I mean, they weren't in the Washington was not a perennial like if you're talking about like Utah or like even Oregon, sure, because they've got that championship DNA and those guys have done it. Washington, and especially losing their coach, isn't a little bit different. Now we'll see where they go. I think they're going to have a little bit harder transition than obviously Oregon.
Yes.
But and probably I think a team that I was thinking about USC. as much as I think, they put out the thing. Did you see the thing where they said how much weight they've gained?
Yeah.
Now they've been hitting
Not
the weight. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Now I think Lincoln Riley say, hey, look, man, we can't have no 195-pound linebackers. We gotta get guys in there. We might get Child Protective Services called against us up there against the big boys, but it's much like part of me is like, okay, the USC will be able to just score points, right? So they'll just be like, they'll be better than they were last year. But then I'm thinking like, you went 8-5 and you had the number 1 pick in the draft. I know homeboy coming in is good. He ain't number 1 pick in the draft. So what are you really going to do? I think USC, I'm telling you this right now. If they do not get off to a good start, he doesn't make it to Thanksgiving. He doesn't make it to Thanksgiving. He doesn't make it to that last bye week.
Okay. So Jay, if you could rank the Big Ten teams based on rosters, right? Just on talent and rosters.
But that's not going to be. That's not going to win you. That's not going to win you games.
Let me ask you the question: if Jay Foreman could choose and walk into rank these schools and
I'm going to take Ohio State.
Yeah, like
sure.
you're gonna go through based on several things, and I could almost guarantee that you're not going to choose Iowa's roster over USC's roster.
Oh, for the Big Ten,
yes.
Well, I don't think USC's roster is ready for the Big Ten.
This current Big Ten.
No. They ain't physical enough. Them boys, I'm just telling you. I watched Utah literally, and I would even, like Utah's defensive end, I'll never, number 81 on Utah's, his brother was a safety.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a safety.
And the other brother was a quarterback.
Right.
The
Number 81
yeah.
was 6'1", 220-pound defensive end.
Yeah.
When Utah beat USC in the Pac-12, I saw him destroy that offensive line. And I wouldn't consider him, even though he's got the toughness and all that, I wouldn't consider him a Big Ten defense. I don't think right now USC's roster is ready. And I don't even think it's a talent thing. I think it's a mentality thing. I don't think, at least from my eye, that Lincoln Riley is truly invested in this type of football.
Okay.
I think that's why he went to USC.
I don't know, and what I can tell you.
I mean, I just can't see him. Can you see him running up and see him turn around and hand the ball off 30 times?
There was a time, yes. This year, I think he has to. If he's any type of coach that can deliver it, Power 1, Power 5. Every one of those coaches in the Big Ten could actually see themselves being in power football, handling the ball 30 times.
But I'm saying, do you see him? Lincoln Riley, the same dude that went to Big Ten Media Day and says, we are the favorites for the Big Ten. That lets me know you lying to yourself. That's the worst person you lied to. And that means you lied to 120 kids in there. Because I'm telling you, when he got on that private jet, I know he ain't believe it. Because when he said it, he didn't even say it like he didn't say it like he meant it. Because you want to know how I know he didn't say it in a minute? Because he looked up to the left.
Yeah, and I would also say that if Jay Foreman was coaching every team in the Big Ten Conference, he walked in, he would believe his team was the favorite to win the Big Ten
That
Conference.
is true. That is true. That is true. But I can tell you this. If I had Caleb Williams and those dudes on offense, I know I ain't losing 5 games.
How about that? I
right?
agree with you 100%.
Okay, then I know at least that. No, I'm not saying that. And listen, I think Lincoln Riley's a good coach.
Yeah.
And all that. I do. I really think he's a good coach. I think when he got off the plane to USC, I don't necessarily think he wanted to be there.
That may be true as well.
You know what I'm saying?
That may be true as well.
But he did have the best walk-off quote. Yeah. I'm not going to LSU. You didn't ask about USC.
Hey, sure did.
We just decided. Hey, listen. Hey. We got out of the Big 12 championship. 3:00 in the morning. Me and my wife decided. We had to catch that flight at 6. Anyway, wake up. Hey, wake up, honey. We got to make a life-changing decision in 30 minutes because our agent just called us in the middle of the night because I know you're going to be up at 3. Anyways,
change your flight.
Yeah.
Change the flight plan.
Yeah, we were going to Baton Rouge. We're going to head out to LA. And he got off with the maroon Nikes on. So
why are you
Air Force
telling that man secrets?
It was on the internet. Anyway, we'll take a quick break, put a bow on this week. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Today's Sunday, right? Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin, old school. Quick segment, put a bow on this bad boy. DP, are you excited for Saturday to get on the mic again?
Yeah, it's a chance to grow. General admission tickets, somebody asked me. General admission tickets are $25. So you can take family of 4 for $100. You can buy VIP tables. I think there's 1 or 2 still available. There are food and beverages there in the building, so you can do that. Again, doors open at 6. Card starts at 7. But yeah, 8 fights, all pros. So it's going to be kind of cool to be there and kind of call it. So I'm looking forward to it.
There it is. Yeah, it's always good, man. I always talking about when I was in Golden Gloves or whatever you call it, boxing. I'll never forget me and my friend Jamal. His dad's a doctor, so he would make extra money and do it. I'll never forget this. So it would be like an event. I remember we were at the Minneapolis Convention Center, and it was a winter day. We didn't have basketball, so we went down there, and we sitting, and they had the headgear on, man. But this dude, and that's when cats would come up there to Chicago. He put his hands on them dudes. I would never forget it. Sitting right there, man. Blood went right in his car. Dude's drain. I said, "Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm shooting hoops." That was it, Austin.
That
was it.
Wouldn't even take me that long in full disclosure. So respect.
Well, it's sitting at the last one. I'm sitting ringside, and I had on a blue blazer, had on a blue suit, and the number of people who walk by to wipe blood off of me.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to wear one of those plastic things like you Dexter or something,
like
man.
Going to see Gallagher back in the day, where you cover up, your whole body. But
yeah, man. Anyways, excited for you, and then one step closer to football season. It's about to start getting real after this week, because then you days start to go a little bit faster. This is dog days of camp. Once Monday starts, then pads got to start clacking a little bit harder. You got to start to play for keeps, man.
Earn a job week starts on Monday, man.
Yeah. You gotta start. Might start poking.
Install's over. You gotta.
I gotta poke your eyes out if I got to.
Yeah, man.
Kick you in the shin.
And there's NFL preseason all week.
So. Oh, it's tonight. You know who's playing tonight on NFL? You know the slew-footed slingers on there. Yeah, D'Amico. Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP Austin, old school crew is back in effect. Have a good weekend. We'll holler at you.